There we go. Okay. Yay. Okay. Now we're recording. All right. So the first thing I wanted to talk about tonight, and it's like been happening to me today. So I thought this would be a good subject to talk about. It's manifesting. So I am not a like how you manifest stuff expert in any way, shape, or form. I feel like I'm a total newbie to it, but I feel like it's working. So then I kind of want to talk about how we manifest things. And I'll give you a quick example because this was just really funny to me today. So I've been changing my morning routine to be more productive in the morning instead of scrolling social media, because that's traditionally how I start with my coffee in hand. So the subject relates to that, both those things today. And so I've been changing my morning routine. Part of that routine is I'm writing down my big goals, like my holy crap, if this actually happened, this would be really awesome goals. One of the goals on my list is to visit one country a year. And I just think I love to travel, but I have not traveled outside of the US very much. And I really would like to. I'd really like to experience other places. And I think it's kind of fun to maybe go go one place and really just see that place instead of trying to cram it all in. So anyway, so I've been writing down that goal, and I thought it was really funny today because we were talking on Zoom earlier on the workout Zoom about how like Facebook listens to us and knows everything. And it's like, it knows, right? So today I'm scrolling and this trip comes up with Elise. So Elise from Fire and Flow, she does these retreats and it's in Spain, which is one of the countries I want to go to. And I'm immediately like, how do I know? That sounds amazing. So of course I'm scrolling in there, starting to look up the price. Like, when is this trip? How much is it? but it made me think, like, that may not have caught my attention 3 months ago, a month ago, right? But because every day I'm writing down, my big goal is one country a year. So at that point, you start seeing things, you start paying attention to the things that you've been writing down every day and that you're thinking about and that you're putting in your brain. And then, it all just kind of comes full circle. So while I know the universe supplies that information, that information's also still there, right? Like, she was going to post that trip anyway. Now it's caught my eye and I'm kind of like, that might be a really cool way to see a new country, is to go with one of our super trainers, right? So not only are you going to get like the complete, but the birds are going nuts here right now. It's not only going to get like a complete, like amazing session with her, and she's only taking 12 people to Spain. So I'm like, you'd be like hanging out with Elise, right? Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know. Anyway, but
when is it?
It's at the end of September into October. So again, could be celebrating my 49th birthday, right? So I'll still be looking into it. I don't know how many euros it is. Is that bird really loud for you guys? Because it's like really loud for me. Is anybody hearing the bird? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. I'll just keep talking through it then. And I'll have to figure out what the euro exchange is, because of course the price is only in euros, but it's like at a 5-star resort and everything else. But anywho, the point being, what do you really want? Like, this can all relate to any part of our life, our nutrition, our fitness, our love life, our kid, parenting life, whatever, right? It all relates back. So in your nutrition world, what do you really want to happen? What do you really want? And then how can you think about that daily? Now, the hard part is creating, I feel like sometimes we focus on a number, and that's a conversation for another day, because I have another story about numbers for next week, probably. But, if you're focused on a number, is that number really what you want to manifest? Or do you want to manifest how you're going to feel at that number? Like how you're going to be excited to look in the mirror, how you're going to be excited about putting your clothes on, how you're going to feel about looking at the food you're eating, right? If you're manifesting, like I think about my nutrition plan I want to be excited about my food in a way that I feel satisfied and fulfilled and like I'm getting the things I want. And that used to look totally different than it looks now, right? That used to be like a giant bowl of pasta and some garlic bread and maybe a couple cocktails and, you know, whatever, right? But now, like, I look at my salads, like I had an Asian salad today. I had the ginger miso dressing, I had quinoa, sugar snap peas, carrots, cucumber, and I put some furikake on there, which is just seaweed and sesame seeds. And I'm looking at this bowl and I'm like, so pretty. And I'm so excited to eat it. Like, it sounds so good. It's going to be really refreshing on today. It's a warm day. And I was excited, right? And that's how I wanted to feel about my nutrition plan. Because if you're not feeling that way about it, you're not going to stay with it. You're just not, right? Because you want to feel good about the things you're in. So how can you manifest this joy in your lifestyle that you want, or the things you want? So you have to think about the goal encompassing all those things, right? Because if a goal is just a number, you know what I mean? I'm not sure you're going to stay with the goal, or that the goal has an emotional attachment, right? Because if you really want to work for it, you really want to manifest this, then what means something, like where you're like, I'm going to work for this. I really want to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we can all think about what we want to manifest. And I highly recommend this writing it down every day thing, because it really does. It puts it in my brain right away in the morning, right? First, you're up, you're going, you write it down and you're like, yep, that's what I'm working toward today. And
you want feedback on that?
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Okay, I'll give it to you. When I started this, my goal was to lose like 30 pounds, you know, because I'm looking at the number.
Right.
You know, and I don't know if I can get to that number or not. That was my number in like high school, or, you know, and I almost got to it 10 years ago, but I didn't. And that's all I could see is the number, you know, and I'm doing the diet, I'm doing the exercise, and it's losing slowly, you know. So like I told you, right now I'm not cheating. I'm, what's the word? A trader, you know, I'm doing optive.
Right. Yeah.
Once I get down to where I want to be, then I'm going to come back to portion fix. But anyway, I was losing very slowly, and I'm still, that number's in my mind. That's what I want to be. But all of a sudden I hit like 10, 12 pounds and things changed. The body changed. I lost inches. And it not so much the inches, but the clothes fit different. I was putting on like pants that were really fitting me well, and they were loose. They were swimming. And I'm like, really? So I'm taking them in, or I'm buying new clothes smaller in the thrift shop until I get down. And it's a different kind of excitement. I've only lost 12 pounds, but my clothes say I've lost more.
Right. But wait, what if you change that quick phrase? Not I've only lost, you've lost 12 pounds.
Yeah.
Lost 12 pounds. Like, that's something to just be really excited about, because that's going toward your goal.
And then I'm taking 2 classes a week outdoors in the parks. And the lady leading it is like really informative. She knows what she's talking about. She looks great. And it's exciting. And it's like, I really am getting back, you know, because I was exercising, but my head wasn't in it. Now it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's a journey now. It's not like I want the goal. I'm enjoying the journey.
Good. That's a big step. That's a big step.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different. And I'm happy.
That's awesome. Like, that's all you can ask for, right? I mean, it's never as fast as anyone wants it, but when you're doing the things, when you're in it, when it feels good, this is what your life can look like, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect. You can continue making progress, right? And feel really great about that, and feel good about where you're at.
And happy.
A success breed success. It's like I'll lose a few pounds and get excited I lost pounds, and then I'll get on a plateau for a week. It stays the same, but that's when I lose the inches and the clothes
Right.
get looser. And
Yeah.
then when that stops, then I lose another pound or two, and then I go on another plateau. But then I'm losing inches, so it's going back and forth, and it's exciting.
Yeah. And the body is very smart. Like when you lose weight, it reevaluates. It's like, okay, hang on a second, because I've got to keep this person alive, right? So how much are we losing right now? Right? Like, whoa, let's back it off a little bit. Let's conserve the energy we're using so that we aren't taking off too much, because I'm trying to keep you alive. So it will hit the brakes even when you're not hitting the brakes. And that could result in, you having lower energy, not, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff, because it's saying I have to conserve because we're all trying to keep you alive right now. And you've not given us as much, right? So we just want to make sure it's okay. We're going to feel good about it. And then we can keep going.
Yeah, that's what's happening. I looked back and it's like I started in April, right after Easter. And every month I've hit a 5-pound goal. I hit the first 5-pound barrier in April. I hit the second one in March. No, that's backwards. April, May. And now in June, I hit the third one. So I'm like, okay.
And that's a great steady weight loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can hit the 5-pound goal in July, anytime in July, the beginning, the end, I'm okay.
Right.
But now I have a wedding tomorrow. And I have a wedding tomorrow, the 4th of July, another barbecue on the 10th, and a party on the 16th. So
yeah.
I know it's going to be tough, but
you're going to do great. You're going to enjoy your time with people. You're going to have a few things and it'll be great.
And I'm not going to stuff myself because I'm feeling good and I want to keep going.
Right.
I'm excited. And I love this group. I love all of you. I really do.
We are a lot of fun. It's like our Thursday therapy, which just is a caveat. I think I might need to be moving our call to Tuesdays. That'll be sometime in August, I think, because I'm going to start having a football child, I think, that has games on Thursday nights. And I'm kind of curious if people will like the earlier in the week session anyway. Like maybe, you're coming out of Monday and you're still raring to go. By Thursday, it feels like we're a little bit like, just bring on the weekend. I'm ready to sleep in and have my cocktail tomorrow. So Joy, how about you? Is there some things you want to manifest? Do you feel like?
Past year has been so. Last year, it was actually right about this time I had got down to the lowest I have been in a long time. Got off my routine, got off of my eating nutrition. I gained it all back plus some. And I just started the past few weeks. I've been doing fire and flow.
Nice.
Got back into my nutrition. And the scale's finally moving and I feel great. I did notice. So, I turned 51 on Saturday and
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I don't bend as easily as I used to without feeling like I'm 90. Started doing the control stretch. And like the first 3 days I thought I got hit by a truck. But today I actually noticed I felt pretty good. I wasn't
good.
I wasn't. So I've been doing that after I've been doing my fire and flow, and scales finally started moving. My nutrition's not on point, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a matter of making it all a habit. So it's not as easy to get so distracted and stop
doing. 100% swear to that. Like I have had some emotional roller coasters in the last couple of weeks and nothing changed with my nutrition.
Yes.
And past Deanna would have had the ice cream and the chocolate. I deserve this. I should have that. But current Deanna just says, you know, this is how I eat. This is what I'm used to. This is what's in my house now. And
I still have the ice cream. I just have a small
right.
rather.
Hey, it's baby steps. It has taken me years to get here. And I hope that's not like deflating in any way, because that was my journey. That doesn't mean it has to take anybody else years.
Taking years to get to the small also.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, so it's good. I feel good. I'm so happy to be back.
We're so happy to have you back.
But hopefully I got my journal in front of me.
Love it. Yeah. It's funny. That's part of my funny, you know, like I've always pooped, like for me personally, I don't enjoy writing. And so it's journaling sounds like torture. So I think what was appealing to me on the thing I'm doing in the morning, which is I just do these little sets of 5 big goals, work goals, gratitude, and what I'm going to do for the day. And so I'm like, okay, that's easy. That's a couple lists of 5, right? No big deal. I'm a list, like I can write lists all day long. I do to-do lists. So to me, it's just like the 5 to-do lists real quick in the morning. And so it's like, you really have to figure out what's going to work for you to like focus in on it.
Right. So I'm not a writer either. I'm a reader, but I'm so not a writer, and it's challenging, but I make sure I'm doing it.
And it so helps set your intention for the day and everything just a little bit better.
Well, the whole thing is a whole, like the working out, our Thursday meetings, there was, the check-ins, the writing it down. It is a whole, just makes it a whole lot easier to just get back into it. It's when you're skipping the steps that I had a little hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It's like you're like, oh, I'll just do this today, or I'll do a little of that, and
stop doing one thing, and then a little while later you stop doing the next thing, and a little while, and then you're like, why do I have 15 extra pounds? Where'd that come from? So
right, yeah, it's so true,
but it's all good. It's been a good year. Been a good with the except my daughter, I don't know if my daughter lost her dad in October.
Oh,
so
yeah.
One of the meetings I said that he was sick and had but yeah, speak of the devil.
It's gonna start a little after this, but can I go?
Yes.
If I'm not here or at Isabella's, I'm probably down there.
Okay.
All right, we know where to find you.
Yeah.
He's trained well.
Yeah.
Good
So
girl.
does anybody have other things you want to talk about with manifesting? I don't, if you want to be put on the spot, I don't want to put everybody on the spot if they don't want to talk about it. Ever you coming back over to say something? All right, perfect.
Yeah, well, because I shared about it on our team call. And it was that like years ago, I started doing it was like a whole process. Like at night, I would write down 5 things that I was grateful for from that day. And then the next day I would wake up and I would write down 5 things I was grateful for from the day before. And I would write down like my 10 goals that I was like going for. And a lot of, some of them were like really super big goals. And then, action step type of thing. And something that I realized, like years down the line, when I was looking back, is that I had accomplished some of those goals without even realizing that I had accomplished goals that I had been writing down like every single morning. Like I didn't even realize it. And then this year I had just written down 4 big goals that I was going for. And one of them being to buy my son a new piano, which I was able to do like I guess it's now been 2 months when we bought that. But, and I tried to make it like, oh, well, it wasn't exactly the way I wanted to do it. And then I was like, why am I doing that?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
I accomplished that goal.
Right.
It doesn't matter how it happened. It's like, I made it happen, it was because I was able to make it happen. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, and so yeah, so it definitely, and I had those goals like sitting, I didn't write those every single day. They were sitting on a Post-it on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw them every time I would be sitting at my laptop, whether I acknowledged reading them or not,
Right.
subconsciously, your
You
brain
saw
still
them.
sees it.
You still see it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
And the bathroom mirror is a great place for those things too. Cause like you're always looking in a bathroom mirror and you can write it with the dry erase board or put a Post-it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Exactly.
love it. Yay.
I do. I have that.
Poke.
It's just like,
Yeah. Well, that's what they do. They're teens.
uh-huh.
They're button pushers at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I just finished reading Mel Robbins' reading. I was listening to it on Audible, Mel Robbins' High Five Habit. And I know that some of I know Sue read it. I think
I've read
you
it.
did, Deanna, and I think Lucy and Joy, anyone else. I highly recommend it. It's really in congruence with this whole conversation about like
Yes.
manifesting what it is that you want. And I really, I'm not going to say that I was like, oh, this is like the greatest book ever. It was good. I found it better than her 5-second rule, which I didn't really enjoy. I found it to be a bit onerous.
There you go.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. And she reads her audiobook, which I thought was
I
really
enjoy that she reads it.
yeah.
Because she really does, like, her personality comes through in it.
And she shares stuff that I guess she like points out that it's like not really in the book, but it was really
Okay.
good. And I definitely recommend it if anyone hasn't read that book when it comes to thinking about just like manifestation. And then the other one is Gabrielle Bernstein's.
Is it The Universe Has Your Back?
Yes.
Okay, because I think I have that one in my Audible and it's been in there a long time. I like started it and there was something about it where I didn't feel really gripped just yet.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
What-
That and The Secret. But I think everyone's read that. Gabrielle Bernstein. I'm bringing up her book. The Universe Has Your Back. Is the one that I read.
maybe that's the one I have then. Let's see here.
And then I did read, I guess I also read Super Attractor, but apparently I didn't really enjoy it because I only gave it 3 stars.
Oh, that's funny. I have never rated any of mine. I would say like I totally, the 5-second rule was totally in my head before you brought that up, because that was definitely one where you're putting a habit in place and you're working toward something, right? Like it is absolutely a great segue. And Atomic Habits is my other all-time.
That was
favorite
really
book.
good. Did you read the other one, The Power of Habit by James Duhigg?
No, but let's write that one
So
down.
The Power of Habit is what Atomic Habit was written, like he references it a lot in the book.
Okay.
And so The Power of Habit is also really good.
Okay, I'm in. And it's funny because we've talked about Atomic Habits on this call. Like we went through and did the 4 steps that he talks about, but I think it's been 2 years, but we should totally revisit some of that again maybe we'll have a book club like when school starts up again.
I was going to ask if anybody would be interested in doing a book club. I think we've talked about this a few times. I'm super nerdy and I read a lot. And I'm always looking for someone to do a book club with me. And it hasn't been working out in my favor. So if anybody wants to do a book club of like self-development and like personal development stuff, please let me know. Just shoot me a DM. I'm totally down to curate. That way Deanna doesn't have to lead every call.
Well, you should drop it in our coach thing too, because I would bet there'd be some that we can figure it out.
Okay. I will. I'll put that in the coach call after this call
Do a
tonight.
little club together.
That would be like, oh my gosh. Like I've been manifesting a book club. I just can't find one.
I just downloaded a new book too. Which one is it? Oh, it is Super Attractor that I downloaded and I didn't really get into. Oh, the body is not an apology. So I'm sure we're going to have a discussion about this. It is all about radical self-love of your body.
I love
So
that.
I can't wait to dive into it because some of the stuff I've seen from it so far, it's just fantastic. So we'll definitely bring that into this call. Okay, we'll switch gears here real quick. So so the second topic I was going to talk about is caffeine. So a lot of us went through gut protocol and we put our caffeine levels down to 200 milligrams or less a day, which was like a scoop of Energize and maybe, you know, a full teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of matcha, something like that, right? The recommendation was not to have coffee because of the acid levels. And also most of the time coffee has a pretty decent amount of caffeine, right? You'd probably get to have 1 cup of coffee versus having, you know, some Energize and some coffee. So, and yell if this apparently blower out here is super loud too. Hopefully it's just for me. Every neighbor in the neighborhood is like decided to come out and do their yard work right now. So, so with this caffeine, I thought it was fascinating. Okay, so I went down to 200 and I was doing really great. My energy levels during the gut protocol were really fantastic. And then I stopped my 4 weeks and started maintenance. So I stayed on the same foods, same schedule, same stuff, but I added my coffee back in. And probably about 2-ish weeks into that, I started noticing my afternoons were really nosediving. I started to take naps again, which I was doing before. Like I can just get it. If I can get like a 20-minute hit on a nap, I like, it's life-changing for me. But during the gut protocol, I wasn't taking those at all. I didn't feel like I needed them. I was just kind of like, I'm good, right? Which was a total change in what my day usually looked like, because I usually hit this lull about 2 or 3 o'clock. And it kind of hit me. I'm like, my food's not different. My exercise isn't different. I'm like, so what's different? And I'm like, I added coffee back in, and I didn't just add it back in a little bit. I was having a full cup in the morning. I was having an iced coffee in the afternoon, and I was having my Energize, right? So I brought the caffeine back big time. But it was really obvious in my energy levels. And so then I'm like, okay, let's get back to a better level. So I started just having some coffee in the morning and my Energize and then nothing after. And then I started doing this new morning routine, and I just would start with Energize in the morning with writing my goals and then go to do my workout and have green tea in the afternoon. And I'm back to a regular energy level again. Like I'm back to not having the lull, no naps, feeling really good. And so I just wanted to talk about it a little bit on here in case anybody was, you know, feeling that way. Or on the flip side, if you are constantly caffeinating, let's try to cut it back or a different source to see how that feels for you. I am not a no caffeine person. Like
Yeah.
I really I like a little hit. And but I'm amazed at like, so on a regular day, if I have my Energize, that's about 100 with the scoop I do. And then I'll have a matcha tea in the afternoon, and I do a teaspoon. So that is 50 milligrams. So I'm about at 150 milligrams. So way like 1 coffee, essentially, depending on how your coffee brewed, right? So, and I'm really kind of amazed at how I don't have this lull. I don't have this up and down. I just feel kind of constantly good.
What is regular coffee? How many?
Well, if it's drip coffee, that's one of the lowest amounts. And it's usually, I want to say it's like 100 milligrams for an 8-ounce cup. There's going to be a chart. I'd Google it. I'd Google a chart to get the exact numbers. But you're like probably between 80 and 100 milligrams of caffeine for a brewed 8-ounce cup. And then as you get to like pour overs are going to be more cold brew, because it's sitting with the coffee beans for 24 hours at least on the cold brews. And so that's like almost double. Espresso is going to be the lowest. They're usually like 60 to 80 per ounce of espresso. So if you're getting shots and then milk added or whatever, that's going to be a lower amount of caffeine. And then the highest amount is a nitro cold brew. So those two things together just jack it way up there. I remember I was in Costco the other day too, and they had these little cans of like cold brew coffee. And I don't know if they add more caffeine to it, but I looked at looked at it and it was like 300 and some milligrams of caffeine. And I'm like, my eyeballs would probably like shoot out of my head if I drank this thing. Like that sounds crazy in one sitting.
Well, if you drink too much caffeine, it actually has the opposite effect on your body.
Exactly.
Why you're taking naps, because you're overstimulated.
It's funny because I totally like knew that, but I assumed that meant like having a pot of coffee in the morning. I mean, I literally have 1 cup of coffee and like I have 2 1 cups of coffee, right? It's flanking Energize. So Energize in the middle. So to me, I didn't think that was going to be like this chronic, too much usage, right? I thought, okay, I can kind of go back to my normal caffeine habits, but I can't. So I thought that was a really interesting discovery. So
Funny you mentioned something about caffeine. The little pouches you put in water bottles,
yes, yeah.
like the kids. It never ever dawned on me how caffeinated these are. Like it just didn't think about it until one of them had 15 milligrams of caffeine in it. And my stepmother's the one who, she's like, I only can have decaf. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're only pouches for water. Yeah. And this is like 99% caffeine free. And this has got 15 milligrams. And I'm like, oh my God. And these are what I give my daughter to put
Right.
her water for camp.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many times where there's hidden things in there or things we're just not reading, right? But you never think about it.
Well, a lot of it too is I'm always looking for, like, I look for I'm always looking at the calorie count. I'm not necessarily looking at the caffeine count. And especially now, it's over like the last few weeks, I catch myself looking now to see if what's in it for because I think caffeine, I think coffee is all I ever.
Right.
How much sugar is in that?
An energy drink or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the sugar content?
Okay, so
let's read your label. This is
wires.
And it's
Wire.
not what kind of sugar too.
Yeah.
So 0 fat, 0 sodium, 1 gram of carbohydrate, 0 protein, vitamin C. I need my glasses. Hold on. Not a significant source. Vitamin D. Ingredients: citric acid, maltodextrin.
Maltodextrin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aspartame.
Oh, yep. That's not a good one.
Yep. Instant tea. Yeah, that's not good.
Joy's probably like, I don't want to read my labels with you guys.
We're not here to judge you, Joy. We're just here to learn.
No judgment. We're
No
just saying.
judgment.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a learning experience.
It is.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Yeah, so I learned a lot more about maltodextrin the other day because I was researching it. It generally comes from corn. It's meant to add some sweetness to things, but it's not caloric. So it's on the.
Does that since it comes from corn, does that, I mean, it doesn't have a sugar, but does that add sugar?
Well, I would say no, because it's in such a small amount, it does not. And it would have to, if it hits a certain amount, it'll have to say added sugar or sugars on your box.
A trivial amount of sugar is what it says.
Yeah. And the maltodextrin, so I was researching it because someone was asking me what it was sourced from because they don't do corn. And so it can be, it's actually on the outside of our capsules for when we're swallowing. So it has like this little bit of a sweet taste to it. The capsule itself, which is interesting.
I'm dumbfounded.
So what was your other one? What did your other one say?
It's basically the same thing, except for this only has 5 calories and this one has 10. But this one's sweet tea. So what? This is the one that's got the 15 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay.
But looking at the label, I mean, it's 0 fat, 0 saturated fat, 0 trans fat, polysaturated fat, all zeros. It's got 10 milligrams of sodium, 2 grams of carbohydrates, no dietary fiber, no sugar, no added sugar, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then you read the ingredients and it's instant tea, maltodextrin, malic acid, aspartame, citric acid, contains less than 2% of, I don't know, it's in another language. Oh my God.
You'll definitely, the aspartame, you'll definitely want to steer clear of.
Yep.
And you know, you can, they do make a lot of those types of water flavor additives that are with stevia. If you can find something with a whole leaf stevia, that's best, because it's not as like a sugar alcohol. But yeah, I would just look around and see what you can find for that.
I don't drink them all that much, but I send a pouch with my daughter to camp every day.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I just look for the one, and I know there's definitely varieties out there because it's really popular to have flavored water because, you know, everybody pushes drinking more water. And so we need the stuff to taste good.
Yep.
That's why I'm having my bevy right now, because I'm like, I don't feel like having another bottle of water. I'll take some bevy.
I couldn't do bevy. Like in little samples, I just started hydrate and I'm back on my collagen and the energize. And I like hydrate.
I do too.
I love hydrate too. Hydrate's really good for your water if you're having a trouble drinking it instead of that flavored stuff. But there is some flavored brands that use the stevia, like Deanna was saying.
Yeah, it's too bad they don't make hydrate.
There's definitely some options that you can try.
You could send that with your daughter.
Yeah.
But they don't make the packets.
I know they make everything else in packets.
Yeah, we need to write corporate on that one. Yeah, I take hydrate with me when I go out on my paddleboard because it's like you sweat so much and you're, you know, swimming or whatever, and it's like a good replenishment for out there.
What does it taste like? I've never had it.
It's like a mild orangey, citrusy
lemonade.
Yeah, but it's really mild.
Yeah.
Flavored. It's not like an Energize where it's pretty potent tasting. It's just a really mild, light flavor. Well, good. Okay.
Is it allowed on Gut Protocol?
What? It's
Is
not
it allowed on? Okay.
It's just, it puts you over your sugar. So bevy is like, so certain products aren't allowed. Like bevy is not allowed technically because the fiber in bevy. So bevy is meant to be drank like before, like say you're between snack and dinner and you kind of want to extend it a little bit because it helps suppress your hunger. Because it's got fiber and brewer's yeast in it, but the fiber comes from corn. So it's not approved with Gut Protocol, but I've discovered corn does not affect me. And so I have brought it back in because I like it in the summer. And then Recharge is the other one that will be on Joel's program coming up that is also not allowed just because it's casein is whey and it's a casein protein. And so, you know, you're just not having dairy on the Gut Protocol. So yeah, but hydrate just puts you over on sugar. I mean, you could technically have it if you didn't have other things like Shakeology or Recover, right? So if you managed it in your day, you could have it. Cause I can't remember though if I think it's like 8 or 9. Do you remember, Lily, what it is a serving?
I think it's 7. it's
7?
7.
Okay. Yeah. So you could have a,
If you're not having,
yeah, if you're having Shakeology, then you're just out. You wouldn't have enough left.
but if you're if you're in maintenance though, I think if you're in maintenance, you can do Shakeology, Energize, and either Recover, or like a half a scoop of Recover and your hydrate, or full scoop of Recover and half a scoop of hydrate. I think is how it was for me when I did the maintenance.
Yep. You totally could. Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts on caffeine? We can do some more food labels or.
I did not bring my food label
Oh,
on
man.
because I'm in the car. So I'm sorry.
Water
I'm at home, but I didn't realize I was.
Oh, we lost you a little bit on the end there.
You froze too. Yeah.
I
The
did.
food label.
Yeah.
All right, Bev.
I have
Let's,
one. I need to go. Well, let me go grab it.
okay.
Hold on.
Wait, what pet is that? You don't,
Yeah, I was just wondering if she's always had a
What?
dog.
what is happening here? What?
I don't know.
I don't have one. It's a friend's dog.
Oh,
We're
okay.
possibly pet sitting him. And he came over to see what
Check
our
out
house
the-
was like,
See if he wanted to stay
Yeah.
at your house, if he likes the accommodations.
pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's cute.
Yeah. He's like a 6-pound Yorkie mix.
Cute.
So anyway, but yeah, so I've got these plantain croutons, spicy sriracha flavored. And I was really shocked because there's no sugar, like added sugars. I was like, holy cow. But so let's see. Ingredients are plantains, vegetable oil, spicy sriracha seasoning, and sea salt. So let's see. 1 ounce is 150 calories, 8 grams of fat, 3 grams of saturated fat, 105 milligrams of sodium. Total carbohydrates is 18, and the dietary fiber is 2 grams. No sugars, 1 protein.
Hmm. Sounds good. How are you gonna
Yeah.
use?
I don't know. I really actually bought them more with Jacob in mind. And honestly, for like the holidays, I know that sounds crazy that I would buy it now, but it was a special buy at Aldi, and you never know with
Right. Yeah. May never return again.
yeah, exactly. And they don't go bad until next year, 2023. Like almost a year from now. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, that was my thought was for him. He
Yeah.
very well may take it in salads before then, like to school or
Right.
something.
Well, there's a holiday this weekend.
Yeah, no.
Celebrate.
He's been still eating gut protocol pretty much. We all have. Honestly, our friends asked us to bring a dessert, and it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't had dessert in 8 weeks. Like a dessert.
Right. Yeah. I
Like,
have. Yeah.
Yeah, if I have something, it's usually alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. That's what my treat swap is.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because for our 4th of July, our whole street does like a whole table of just sweets for
Oh.
the evening part when we're all blowing stuff up. And I'm kind of like, I'm not even gonna like, it doesn't even sound good because I know I'll just get a headache with the amount of sugar that's gonna be in whatever anybody brings, right? So then I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll just put a fruit plate out for myself.
You don't know what
Yeah. Yeah. I'm kind of thinking I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. I have those peanut butter oatmeal chocolate chip cookies that are they're more like protein cookies. And
Yeah.
then or the brownies, the chickpea brownies.
Did you see
So-
the new recipes that dropped last week? It's a blackberry coconut bar with a chocolate top, or there's a cornflake and peanut butter Like you kind of press it together so it's firm, and then you dip the whole thing in dark chocolate, and that looks really good. And
Wow.
obviously
They
that's,
look so yummy.
yeah, corn, so it's not gut protocol approved, but it is only 7 grams of sugar per serving. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds really yummy.
yeah, they look really good. They're on Body if anybody wants to find them.
Nice. I also have a recipe for black bean brownies that are
Oh
really,
yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen those.
So
You
I
want
brought
some?
a label because
Okay.
you girls were talking about desserts, and if this is whatever, we'll just go with it. So these are the Nature's Paths Chia Plus waffles. And occasionally I've been heating one waffle up in the oven and then putting ice cream between it.
Nice. I like
Sounds
it.
Definitely recommend that. I mean, you can get like vegan ice cream. Like we had a coffee Oatly that was made of oat milk, and it was really good. So if you're avoiding dairy, but this, I actually really like these waffles. But when I was looking at the ingredients, it's water, brown rice flour, potato starch, corn flour, cane sugar, soy oil, tapioca starch, chia potato flour, soy lectin, quinoa, amaranth, leavening agent, pear juice, concentrate, natural vanilla flavoring, and sea salt. It does contain soy, which is problematic if you're avoiding that. For one waffle, the serving is two waffles, but I don't really do that. And it's 210 calories per serving. And within that serving, it's 5 grams of sugar, 34 grams of carbs, 2 grams of dietary fiber, and then 180 milligrams of sodium. And your total fat is 7 grams. So it's not that bad. And I'm sure I've also put peanut butter on them, and that's also been very good. But I have found that I do enjoy it as an ice cream sandwich.
Isn't that
Oh.
tapioca starch not good?
What?
Yeah, I mean it's not like potato starch and tapioca starch we avoided on the gut protocol. It is just something that helps everything meld together, right? To hold this waffle together with the other ingredients. So it's just a sign of something being more processed. So I wouldn't say it's like there's like a bad thing about it, but it's also just meaning your food is more processed, right? Because it's using those things to hold it together.
And because it's gluten-free. So they have to figure out how they're going to hold it together to make it look like a waffle.
Yeah. With something that's not glutinous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But so these are good if you're avoiding gluten and you're not on gut protocol. I definitely recommend. They have like a whole bunch of them. They have like a buttermilk one, like a chocolate chip one, but I really like the Chia Plus.
Yeah. And I wonder, because it has 7 grams, and I don't know if that's like, I wonder if there's enough chia seeds that you would count it toward some kind of orange, or if it's the soy oil that's bumping that up. Where's the chia seeds in the, how deep is it?
It's the 9th listed ingredient, so I probably
There's not
wouldn't
very
count
many
it. Yeah, I wouldn't count it. The second ingredient is brown rice flour, potato starch, then corn flour, then cane sugar. So yeah, I mean,
so it's that oil that then because that 7 grams is still a decent amount. So you're probably gonna have to count a teaspoon there or something for that.
yeah, I would say this is probably definitely a yellow and a teaspoon at a minimum.
Right.
One waffle. I know it says it's 2 waffles, but I don't believe that. I think it's only one waffle for
here's the thing too, right? Like we get to the nitty gritty on these labels and we talk about, what's best. But at the end of the day, this is a better choice than rolling down and getting some, giant ice cream sandwich that's going to be super caloric. And if you're satisfied by it and you feel like, I just got to have a treat that I enjoyed and it had better nutritional value than other options, then that's a win, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. It's figuring out, where you can still feel really great about what you're having and it works. so that you're not, feeling like you've failed or it's, throw in the towel, all that kind of good stuff.
And you can only fit so much ice cream onto half of the waffle.
Right. And I would, depending on what flavor you've got going there too, I will say that strawberry banana ice cream from the Gut Protocol, it's very delicious, especially when you actually have like fresh picked strawberries because they're so super sweet and delicious. So highly recommend that recipe too.
I'll have to give that a whirl.
I have some in my freezer right now.
Nice.
You can also use frozen blueberries and just a tiny bit of coconut milk, and that will, if you blend that up, that actually turns into ice cream as well.
Yeah.
Very yummy.
Nice.
All kinds of good things.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything anybody wanted to talk about? We only have a few minutes left. Anything you're dying to know, want to discuss?
Did you see my question in the Gut Protocol group about the salad dressing that from Trader Joe's that Autumn was using?
I have not. I saw her post about it. I have not seen that dressing, and I've never
Okay.
had it. Yeah, but I did see her post that you referred to. Yeah, I'd have to go look. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
I'm curious because it was Gut Protocol approved, so I was curious about that.
Hopefully she read the label through, because sometimes
Look,
it's
well,
when we're like, one of the examples was so funny too, right? When she was doing the chai tea and she was showing the full sugar version, which was like crazy with sugar. And there was an unsweetened version, but it wasn't the bottle she had in her hands. So yeah, it was pretty funny. So hopefully, yeah, I haven't ever looked at that one. And I think it was a spicy cashew. Does that sound right?
yes.
Yeah.
Spicy cashew garlic or spicy cashew something.
Yeah. And anytime I like see something like that too, I'll just hit Pinterest and see what comes up, because more than likely someone's made a dressing like that and you could just whip it up at home. And then you don't have to worry about any kind of preservative or extra things they've added in. And, most of the dressings I've made out of the Reset, they're good for at least 2 weeks because they all have a vinegar in them. So, you can just go off that too. I made a vegan pesto yesterday, and it's, it's all stuff you usually have around, other than like, I don't always have basil around because I can't apparently grow it because it doesn't like me, but I can grow all the other herbs. But yeah, so, there's lots of different dressings and things like that you can whip up, and then it just sits in your fridge and it's ready to go when you're ready. All right. So let's see. Tomorrow is Red, White, and Blue for Funky Friday. So I expect to see everybody's pretty faces and their sweaty selfies in some kind of red, white, or blue. We do have a meal prep class coming up. It feels like it's been forever, and I need to get a menu created so I can get that out this weekend sometime. So that'll be July 10th, the usual Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then what else do we have coming up? We'll all be at Summit, so we will not have a nutrition call on the 14th. And then Joel's program comes out. So we can talk about the nutrition as we get closer to that with Joel's program, because I believe he does have its own brackets set up. It is set up to use To Be Mindset or Portion Fix. And the reason he's not including Gut Protocol in his like design of the program, because he is saying he wants you to take the performance line, which includes Recharge, which is not Gut Protocol approved, right? So that's why it's not in there. But Autumn has done a video already, and she'll talk more with Joel, I'm sure. But you can be on the Gut Protocol and do Lift More. It's just not going to be part of the program package, right? And the program materials. So yeah, and so that'll be coming up, and I believe he's got a cheat meal, worked into there. That's his thing. So we can talk about all those things coming up.
I just found that dressing for you guys. The Trader Joe's Spicy Cashew Butter Dressing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Let's hear
Tell
it.
And
us.
there's a copycat. There's also a copycat recipe. That's what it is. I mean, they have a picture of the actual dressing with the label and everything, and they have a copycat recipe. But so it is 40 calories. Hold on, let me zoom in. It's 2 tablespoons, 40 calories, 2.5 total grams of fat, 0.5 saturated fat, 135 milligrams sodium, 4 grams carbohydrate, 1 total sugar, includes 1 added sugars, less than 1 gram of protein. Ingredients: water, cashew butter, lime juice, ginger puree, organic coconut aminos, which contain organic coconut flower, blossom nectar, water, sea salt, cilantro, red chili paste, which is red chili pepper, salt, distilled vinegar, xanthan gum, maple syrup, sea salt, xanthan gum, and crushed red pepper.
That sounds pretty good.
What's the name? What's that called? Trader Joe's what?
It is called Spicy Cashew Butter Dressing. Because it's cashew butter.
Cashew butter.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
and I
so I'm
suppose
trying to find the.
that would probably still be really good with a peanut butter too.
Yeah.
You know,
So
Thai. It'd be like a Thai.
the recipe
More ways to use
is
peanut butter.
the recipe's raw cashews, lime, ginger, either soy sauce or coconut aminos, sambal oelek
Yep.
or sriracha,
Sambal lilac.
and maple syrup, cilantro, and boiling water. So it says that it lasts for 7 to 10 days in an airtight container. Anyway,
Yum.
it was literally the first thing when I searched it.
Thanks
First
for looking
post.
it up.
Yeah. Sounds good. If I made it, I just would eliminate the ginger probably. I don't know.
Well, good. All right. Let's see. Did I miss any highlights for what's coming up? I think I'm good. Strawberry lemonade's available. Energize.
Yeah, my client
Hopefully mine's
whose
here
dog I'm watching. My client whose dog I'm watching, or whose dog is here, really. She said she got hers today.
Oh,
I
nice.
was like, oh, dang it.
Can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
But she ordered hers like separate. So like, I mean, she ordered hers that day, not changing an order, and I changed the order and made it ship the next day. So
Yeah, that's what I did too.
fingers crossed, I'll get mine tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I'll just have it, even if I've already had my Energize, I just don't care.
Yeah, right. I'm just trying. Doesn't matter.
I'm just trying it. I don't care.
We're gonna
I
take a
will go
scoop as
over
soon
on
as
my
it arrives.
sugars. Huh?
I said we're gonna all take a scoop as soon as it arrives. It doesn't matter what time of day it is.
Yes. It's like, whoo, it's
Mine's
time.
gonna get here in the
New
5th.
products, are we gonna do a call on the new product that is supposedly coming out from
Yes,
Carl
first
Decker?
thing, last thing. Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
we are. So they're going to be doing a training call on that. So I was kind of waiting to get more detailed information, because kind of what we know right now is a high level. But yes, and I am getting it when we are in Summit, because I'm super excited to try it and use it. And that's actually another reason, like that call coming out and talking about first thing, last thing, is it the first thing is meant like you get up, you drink it. And that also helped me to transition out of this coffee in the morning, right? Because I'm like, I want to do this to see how I feel. It doesn't have caffeine, but they don't necessarily want you drinking it like with coffee. I mean, you can have your coffee, but they want you to see how you feel on it, like without additional stimulants.
What is it, Deanna?
So it's a blend of like, I can't remember if the morning one was like 17 things and the evening one was like 9 things. It's a blend of a lot of different things that I love the word Isabel Deichler used. She talked about how it elevates you. So the first thing is the morning drink. And she said, you're going to feel elevated, which sounds amazing.
Sounds like
And-
something we all did in high school.
Right. And and she said it's not something you drink it and you are like an Energize, right? And it's not something where it's like a hit. It is something where you're having it and maybe a few days in, you're kind of like, oh, wow, I'm feeling really good. Like you're noticing how you're feeling. And she said like all the people that were taking it, once they had to stop the test group, so they didn't get it anymore, they were like, oh my God, I need that back. Like I felt so much better while I was on it. And now I really notice now that I'm off of it, like how much better I felt.
Is it
So
a cap?
Is it what?
A capsule?
No,
Like-
so it's a powder. And I think the morning one tastes like a grape. I'm not totally sure. I thought I saw somewhere it's like a grapey kind of flavor, but it's just a powder you stick in some water in the morning and drink. And then the evening, I'm not positive if I think it's a powder too, but I'm not
I
totally.
thought it was pills.
Is that one
I thought it
pill?
was pills.
Okay.
I
might
thought
be
so.
pills.
I
Yeah.
might be wrong, but I thought it was pills.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get more information on all those, but it's really, in the evening part is all about helping you sleep better, relax, but without things that are going to be, like addictive or like, Tylenol PMs or whatever, right? Like
Or
not
give you a hangover.
give you a hangover. It's going to just kind of ease you into a nice sleep.
I need that.
Well, and I was thinking my
Oh.
oldest has always had trouble falling asleep. Like his brain does not shut down. And so I'm going to be fascinated to see how he
Mhm.
does on this too, to have him try it and see if it helps him go into sleep better. And you're not going to feel like you've taken something for sleep when you wake up. You should feel
Right.
normal and revived, not like groggy, like I took something that's going to make me, like passed me out or something.
And that was supposed to be coming when, Deanna?
So it will be available to us at Summit. And then I believe the ship date was like a couple days after Summit's over, like maybe the 19th, or it might have been right
Yeah,
around the same time.
It's the 19th.
Yeah.
It's the exact same day that the program launches.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
same day.
So we'll
Um,
be able to get it there. Now they're saying they have
What's that?
enough product for coaches and it'll be they have stuff coming in, but it's possible they're not bringing in the amounts they would bring in on a normal product launch on this. So I would say if you're at Summit, you'll want to get it versus ordering it later.
And you want to get to the core like as soon as they announce it.
Yeah.
Like don't wait until later on in the day or the next day because there's a good chance that they will sell out of it.
Yeah.
Because generally they do sell out of whatever they bring out. 'Cause
They've
I
already
don't know
been
why they
talking
never,
about, yeah, they've already been talking
they
about selling
never,
out. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Maribel,
they
you and
never-
I are gonna run to court as fast as possible. But they know.
Oh, Scott will already be out. He'll already be out. Like the session, he will already leave and he will already be at the core. Yeah, that's his job. That's your job. Go.
I know, I know I'm gonna need that. I take this ones and they do
Oh,
help,
the yogi tea?
yeah,
Mhm.
but I do need something to relax more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see what it's all about and what's in it. So we'll be having information sessions leading up into Summit, talking about the ingredients, what they mean, how it works. The doctor that is part of the study and the creation of it with Isabel Deichler she does videos for us to see all that's happening and what's going on. So that'll be perfect.
I wonder if she'll come to St. Louis.
Maybe she might be on the panel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, I don't want to keep you too long. So we will see you next Thursday.
We're gonna
And
take a
oh yeah.
picture?
Yeah, let's see if I can remember how I did it on here. Okay, is everybody ready? Big smiles. Oh, that didn't work. Dang it. Okay. Oh, shift. Okay, now let's try it. Ready?
Shift control 4
Yeah. Shift control 3.
or 3.
Or that.
Well,
Yeah.
So So, and then, yeah, if anybody has something specific they want to talk about for next week, just yell. We'll put it on the schedule. Maybe next week we'll have information about first thing, last thing. I don't know.
There is going to be a takeover,
Yeah, is it
a
next
champion
week?
page takeover next week. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think that was what was in the email.
perfect.
A
Then we
what
can talk about it.
takeover?
It's on the Beach by Champions page. So that's the page for coaches. They'll do what's called a takeover. So then each day, all week long, they have someone talking about the product or the program or whatever's releasing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking.
Well, it was so great seeing all you ladies. Have a great night, and I will see
You
you
too.
soon. Bye.
Oh, and
It's on July
this is
5th.
Deanna. Did you talk about the open fit stuff that's
No.
launching on the 11th? Okay,
It's on
know it's
July
not-
5th.
July 5th.
I'm sorry, the
okay.
first thing, last thing was on July 5th.
Okay. Yep. So
So
we
Tuesday,
should
yeah.
be able to talk about it by Thursday next week then.
Mhm.
That'll be
Perfect.
perfect. All right, guys.
Ah.
Have a good night.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.